Good. So girls, what we're working on today is combination play, right? We're looking at our speed of play, right? How quickly we can bring the ball forward, right? Especially in the final third. We're looking at verbal and non-verbal communication. We're looking at our off-the-ball movement. We're looking at our on-the-ball movement, our decision-making when in possession. So the activity we've got 3 zones, right? And what you're going to be doing is there's no pressure on you, right? I'm going to give you time to adjust the activity, okay? Because it's pretty simple, right? You're going to get into groups of 5. All you got to do is to move into the next area. Each of you have to touch the ball once, right? Whether that's 1 or 2 or 3 touch, doesn't matter for now, right? As long as you all touch the ball, and then you can move on to the next area, onto the next area. Once you've gone into the third area, just go back the way you came, all right? Just so we can work on a little bit of our improving our speed of play. The only traffic that there's going to be, or the only pressure, right, is going to be the other group, okay? The other group is trying to play through you. So what we're going to do is, if I can have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, you 5 are going to be with the penny, so you can grab a penny. And then you're going to have 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, and over there, you'll be just the non-penny players. All right.
Alright, so what I'm doing at the moment is I'm letting them get adjusted to the activity. I'm not giving them too much instructions. I'm letting them work it out for themselves. It's very simple. There's 3 zones in the field marked out by the cones, and what they have to do is each player has to touch the ball once, right, before they can move on to the next area. So we're looking at things like communication, non-verbal and verbal. From my point of view, I'm looking at how well I explain the activity. Am I going to use methods to improve my communication, my explanations? And then we'll slowly add progressions as we go along. But this is pretty much the activity. We're working on combination play, so we're looking at how fast the players move, with and without the ball. What foot are they receiving the ball with? What are they decision making in? What decisions are they making on the ball? So the next progression we're going to make is we're going to set a touch limit. The second progression is once they've made the required amount of passes, I've told one of the players off the ball to make a run into the next area and ask for the ball. We're looking at communication, not just saying the person's name. We're looking at better communication, things like play forward, things like play 45, saying the person's name you're passing the ball to, and that's the second progression. And because they're not achieving what I'd like them to do in terms of building the speed, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use some encouragement, alright, and set a challenge for them.
Girls, for the last few moments, can we improve our speed of play? Can we move the ball a little bit faster?
So now the progression I've made is that each zone has a touch rule limit, and you can see they're having some difficulties understanding it because the decision making has to be important, the speed of play has to be important, challenge their decision making on the ball, and we're looking at also their communication aspects, verbal and non-verbal. So what we're looking at now is basically just challenging them, just challenging their thinking. Because 2 groups are playing at the same time, there's going to be a little bit of pressure, not too much. So the third zone is 3 touch limit, second zone is a 2 touch limit, and the last zone is a 1 touch limit.
Good play, good communication. That's getting deleted.
Right, we're looking at improving our speed of play now, by still keeping that limit on touches. Right. Think about communication as well, verbal and non-verbal. So we had a little bit of a chat now about our verbal and non-verbal communication. Players seem to be handling it pretty well, and I think we're just about ready to move on to the next activity. But I'm letting them play it out for now, and let's see what they've got.
Right, good communication, good. Right, Bill. So, what are we going to take away from the activity that we've just done? Right. What are the aspects that this activity is helping us to improve?
Like our amount of touches.
An amount of touches. So, if we have our amount of touches, what do you think that helps us to improve? Our speed of
Play.
and our decision.
Making.
Yeah. All right. So you can picture it basically as this being our defending third, midfield third, attacking third. You're gonna have more touches over here on your defensive third. Your middle third, you're not going to have a lot of touches, but you can still move the ball around. And in the final third, that's where essentially the combination play comes in, right? With the output being a goal. Okay, can you play 1-2 touch to create space? But it's also important to move off the ball as well, and on non-verbal and our verbal communication. So, is anyone else going to take anything away from this activity as well? Yes.
Communication.
Communication. So, what are the two types you've got? So what are the two types we've got? We've got verbal.
Oh, verbal, non-verbal.
Yeah, so an example of verbal communication would be what?
Calling your player's name.
Okay, right, and what would non-verbal be?
And pointing to where the ball should go.
Yeah, pointing to where the ball should go. Right. Do we think that saying a player's name, right, is effective communication?
No.
Why?
Because then it could be coming from anywhere and you don't know where to put the ball.
So as an example, what do you think would be more effective communication?
Like telling them where to put it, like to your left or right.
Okay, all right, that's perfect. Okay. The examples like playing a through, like asking for a through pass, right, pointing to where you want it, right. Even just gesticulations like moving your hand up so you can ask to put it over the top, especially if you want to get runners in behind or wide players in behind. So basically, right, what else are we going to take away? We've looked at communication. Yes.
Spatial awareness.
Spatial awareness, I like that. Spatial awareness of what? Of the other person. The other team. Okay. That's the only pressure really. Okay. No one's trying to win the ball off you. What we're trying to do in this activity, right, is just trying to improve our technical work. Right. Our movement off the ball, right, our communication, right, weight of passing, creating passing angles as well, right? And also, as Claire said now, spatial awareness. Okay? Spatial awareness being, am I aware of who's around me, where are my players, where's the ball coming from? Alright.
The progression we've made now is an end zone game, 5v5 in the middle, and we've essentially set up the teams as a back four, mimicking a back four. There we go. There we go, so you get a point, so 1-0 grey. So what the point of the activity is if you can mimic that ball in behind, that being the outcome of what combination play should be, A, resulting in a one-on-one on goal, or is it resulting in a ball, is it resulting in a goal essentially. So how it works is setting up with mimicking a back four, which I'm going to speak to the girls about now, and can they combine, have a balance between patience and urgency to bring the ball forward, and then combine essentially to send one of their players through on goal. So I'm going to speak to the girls now about having an actual back four and having that holding mid. So what I've done now is I've given the teams roughly a minute to decide who's going to play in what position, because I've noticed that they didn't understand from my explanation on my communication that they had to move as a back four, had to mimic a back four and a holding midfielder. So what we're going to do is they're ready to play. They're going to understand how a back four should move. We're not working on defense, but we're looking at, can we time those runs in behind? We are playing with very obvious offsides, so if it's offside, it's just a turnover in possession. No point, didn't dribble through. So I'm observing now, are they moving as a back four? What's the combination play like? Is everyone getting involved? Is there verbal, non-verbal communication? It is a tight area, right? But I'm also looking to see if the players have a skill or trick they can use to evade the pressure. From this, what I would do is, there we go, that's a goal. That's a goal. Right, so what the outcome being is they can receive that through ball, and that's being the final product of combination play, being the final product, a 1v1 to goal, right? Or essentially a goal, or a 1v1 to goal. All right, after this next talk, I spoke about I'd like to see more, mimicking movements of a back four. Offside! Offside! I hate to do that to you, but it's offside. Alright, so as a prime example, can they, receive the pass in the end zone by the time they run? Can that run be communicated with verbal or non-verbal communication? So as an example, alright, can that run be, can that player, can't you say something verbal, right? To say the player's name or something like over the top, or through pass or something like that, or non-verbal being, pointing, where she wants the ball or anything like that. So I'm gonna let them play for a couple minutes, and then we're just gonna go from there. So the progression I've made now is I've made the field a little bit bigger, probably about 10 meters wider. So what this is gonna encourage now is gonna be it's a little bit more conducive to combination play. So attacking wide areas as well, potentially. They've got a little bit more time to make a decision, a little bit more time to be brave in possession, and a little bit more in terms of, the opposition's going to take more time to recover the ball. So can it be quick interchanges of play? Can it be quick movements off the ball and on the ball? Which is what I'm going to emphasize in the next talk, which should be in about 2 or 3 minutes time. I'm going to let them play, discover for themselves.